Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are trying out some new products. In my last video, I did a review on a foundation that I had originally gone to the store for a different foundation, but they didn't have it, and I ended up hating that foundation. Anyways, I returned that foundation and got some products from Makeup Revolution, which is the foundation that I had originally gone to the store to get, but they didn't have. So instead I got the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer, which I've also heard really good things about. This is supposed to be a dupe for Shape Tape. And then since this was so cheap, I also picked up one of their Vivid Baked highlighters in the shade Peachy Lights. So I'm going to be trying out these two items today and seeing how they are. So as you can see, the only makeup I have on my face right now is my brows. So I'm going to start by putting my foundation on and then we'll get to the concealer right away. So I'm just going to quickly speed through this part. Foundation is on, now it's time for concealer. I'm going to do this video like I would a foundation review, except that I'm not going to use a brush, I'm just going to use my beauty blender, but I am going to do check-ins throughout the day to see how it's holding up. So I grabbed the lightest shade, which is C1. I'm going to swatch on the back of my hand. It's actually very close to like my actual skin color, which I usually like a few shades lighter. I'm going to compare it to the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear. This is also the latest shade, Porcelain 320, I believe. And you can see that that one's quite a bit lighter. So already I'm not super impressed with their color range. I find that's pretty typical of the drugstore, although I find the newer concealers that have been coming out have been a little bit more extended range. I mean, I think this is still pretty new. I think this is a couple months old at this point, but I wish they had a lighter shade. So I'm just going to put that on like I normally would. Yeah, see, that's maybe like one shade lighter than my skin tone, which I like 2, maybe even 3 shades lighter. The formula feels really nice. It doesn't feel thick and heavy at all. I'm just going to start with my eyes and then highlight my face. Feels really lightweight on the skin. And it seems to blend out pretty nice. I just wish it brightened my under eye a little bit more because this is just kind of blending in with the rest of my face. Oh, this has a little bit of like a paint smell to it, but it's not super strong because I couldn't smell it when I actually put it on my under eyes, which is nice. Yeah, see, this isn't going to do a whole lot of highlighting for me. But you know what? It blends out pretty nice. It's got a little bit of coverage. I wouldn't say it's high coverage like the Tarte Shape Tape is though. I'm going to try it on my eyelids and that'll help me determine how much coverage it has because I have a lot of veining in my eyes and some redness, so let's see how it works there. You know what, that's actually not too bad. It covered up all my veining. Okay, it's starting to sink into my fine lines a little bit underneath my eyes, but I always set my concealer, so that's pretty normal if you let it sit there for a bit. So I'm going to set this all with my Pretty Vulgar matte setting powder. Make sure to blend out the creasing before I set it. Same thing with my lids. Blend it before I set it. Yes, don't mind my like 5 lashes that I have left of my eyelash extensions. I am getting them done later today, and we waited longer in between appointments because she's doing like a full new set on me and it's a totally different style than what I've been doing, so I'm really excited for that later today. For now they're just looking real janky. So that looks pretty good up close. Again, I wish it had a little more brightening, but the formula feels really nice. It feels really lightweight. It blended nicely. It set nicely. So I'm gonna go finish the rest of my makeup and be back for my final thoughts. I kept my makeup really simple today because I do have to wash this off later before I get my eyelashes done. So now I'm gonna go in with the highlight. Again, this is in the shade Peachy Lights. They actually had a different one that I wanted instead, but they were all out of that color and I swatched that one in the store and it was beautiful, but I figured this one would be pretty too, so I'm just gonna swatch this. Oh, that's pretty. Not quite as shimmery as the other one, or not shimmery, but like glowy as the other one that I swatched, but it looks like it'll be pretty. So I'm gonna put it on the face. I did just spritz my face with some setting spray, so let's see how this goes on. Oh, okay. That's actually really pretty. Maybe a little too pinky for what I wanted, but it's actually really pretty. It looks more just like neutral in the pan. I know it says Peach Lights, but this is more pinky than peach. But there's definitely a glow to it, like definitely. So as far as I know, the only place here in Kelowna anyways that sells Makeup Revolution is London Drugs. I don't go in London Drugs very often. It's like that's the only thing I go to London Drugs for is makeup, because they have lots of NYX there, and I mean they have lots of good drugstore makeup, but I find that they raise their prices on so much of their stuff, so the only reason I go there is for NYX basically, and then Makeup Revolution. Let's see how much these cost. I can't remember. Okay, so the highlighter is $7.99, which is not a bad price for a drugstore highlighter, and I feel like it did a pretty good job. It's just not the undertone that I was looking for, but that's okay. And then the concealer was $10, which is pretty average for a drugstore concealer. So I'm definitely happy about the price. And I did quite enjoy it. I just wish it was in a lighter shade, because this is not really brightening my face the way I wanted it to. But if you are a darker skin tone or you don't want brightening from your concealer, then I feel like this is a really good choice. Again, I will wear it throughout the day and do check-ins throughout the day to see how it wears on my skin, but I think it's a good product so far. I'm back. It's been about 3 hours since I applied my makeup, so I'm gonna check it out. It has definitely settled into some of the lines underneath my eyes, which wouldn't be as noticeable if I was wearing more makeup and like had eyeshadow underneath my eye, but because I don't have a lot of makeup under my eye, it is pretty noticeable. You can see it sinking into these lines here. But I mean, all of my concealer does that to some extent. This is just a little more prominent than that. It looks good still in my T-zone and on my chin and everything. Actually, it has settled into my chin line quite deeply. Okay, so I would say this is more of a concealer that you could use like for highlighting if it's fair enough for you, but not really like in any areas that are going to crease. How's it doing on my eyelids? Yeah, it has sunk into some of the creases in my eyelids as well, even though it's been set and there's eyeshadow on top of it. So I'm gonna say not my favorite drugstore concealer. I definitely think that the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear concealer does a better job than this, and they have lighter shades. So I don't really think I need to check in again at the end of the day, so I think that's going to be it for today. Oh, the highlight is still popping, so I really like the highlight. I want to go back and get the other shade that I really wanted, because that was a shade I'd wear more. Like, I already have other highlighters that have pink undertones to them that I already like, so for me to have another pinky toned highlighter is not really what I wanted, but it's still beautiful. I will still use it. So highlighter was good, concealer not so good. I'm really excited for the next video that I filmed though, because I have a new foundation and concealer. They're both from the drugstore and they're both real cheap. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel so that you'll be notified when the next video goes up, and I will see you guys then.